Hello, everybody. Welcome back. 'Tis the final Thursday in April, the final Thursday, Jank Pack Thursday in April. I am just getting over being sick. We had some Dick Tracy last week. We had some horrifying gum this week, so unless badness happens, thankfully I'll be gum free. But we will see. 65 entries live upon the wheel. We're going to shuffle, we're going to spin, and we have our history fact of the day. This day, April the 24th, the year is 1990. The Space Shuttle Discovery takes off, and on it, they are carrying the Hubble Space Telescope, which is launched the next day. NASA originally said it was only supposed to last for 15 years, but here we are in 2025. It is still operational, and they expect it to probably go on working fine for another decade or so, at least until the 2030s. Coming up, what do we have? We have a pack of antique tractors. This one is one of the final ones coming from the same lovely young woman who got me, oh God, I just blanked. Oh, the Craftsman tools and whatnot. So antique tractors coming up in just a moment. Yes, over at the table we go. Yes, I am alive once again, technically by the base legal definition of it. And we are going in. We're looking for the pack of. It was antique tractors. It's not the name of it, but that's what I put it under. I remember the first time we did some of these. I still haven't found out exactly. Oh, here we go. Yep, this is them. I remember they were Goodyear. Goodyear sponsored. I think. Oh, up we go. What do we have here? Okay, we have Ageless Iron, Series 5. Brought to you by Goodyear, number one in tires. Antique tractor collector cards. 12 cards, 1996. Now you know about as much as I do. But let's get in, and thank you to my lovely friend who has made it her mission to send me some of the most random packs that she can find. And I think we're going to have absolutely no difference here. So let's get in. We have the Caterpillar 2-ton. Look, I'll admit, I'm not exactly a country fellow. And man, is that miscut or is that just the way it goes? No, I think that's just the way it goes because the rest of them are like that. In 1925, the Caterpillar Tractor Company was created from the merger of Holt Manufacturing Company and CL Best Gas Traction Company. Okay. The newly formed company based its operations out of Peoria, Illinois, and began turning out the famous cat crawlers. The Model 2-ton had been built by Holt prior to the merger, where it was designated the Model T35. Wonder where they get those names. All three Caterpillar models featured selective sliding gear transmissions and cat-built engine. In the 2-tons case, the engine was a 4 by 5.5 bore and stroke overhead camshaft, 4-cylinder power, plant rated to pull a 3-bottom plow. Let's go. The crawler, which sold for $1,850 in 1927, was built and sold during most of the 1920s. And it looks like military equipment. It doesn't look like farming equipment. There we go. Something a little more familiar. The John Deere 430C. The Model 430C traces its roots back to the Lindemann brothers of Yakima, Washington, who added tracks to a Model GP Deere to create the GPO crawler. John Deere bought out the Lindemann operation in 1946, subsequently making their own crawlers. The Model 430C, produced between 1958 to 1960, I don't think that's right, was offered in gasoline, distillate, and LP gas versions, which were all powered with Deere-built 113.5 cubic inch, all the bore and stroke there, 4.5 by 4 inch bore and stroke, 2-cylinder engines rated at 1,850 RPM. Equipped with a 4-speed transmission, a 5-speed version was optional. The 430C generated 29.7 belt, no idea what that means, and 24 drawbar horsepower while burning gasoline in Nebraska tractor tests. I don't know what any of that means, but I'm just fascinated. See, now we're getting into the really cool stuff. The Marshall Series 3A. Series of English-built tractors were designated Field Marshal, denoting them for farm work. Okay, makes sense. The Series 3A, like its predecessors, the Series 1, 2, and 3 were powered by a single-cylinder diesel 6.5 by 9-inch bore-and-stroke engine that generated 40 horsepower, operating at a rated 750 RPM. Rated, mind you. The introduction of the Series 3A in 1952 marked improvements in the Marshall line, including pressurized cooling, a larger fuel tank, and improved piston reliability and engine lubrication. That is key to life, kids. The Series 3A offered 3-speed transmission with speeds of 2.5 to 5 mile an hour. Let's go, that's blazing. Other features included individual turning brakes, lights, electric starting, hydraulic lift, and PTO. Don't know what that is. Marshall & Sons Company, Gainsborough, Scotland, started in 1848 selling portable steam engines in 1848. I love the history of it. Granted, this is a lot of stuff going on, so bear with me if you will. Earthmaster D. That's what they called me in college. All Earthmaster models were essentially the same except in tread and height options. For example, the Model D had 21 inches of clearance, while the DH and DXH had 24.5 and 27.5. Earthmaster was also offered in 3 models with adjustable widths from 32 to 60 inches, 36 to 64, and 56 to 84. Let's go big. The standard tread Model D was powered with a Continental N62 62 cubic inch motor rated at 1800 RPM, 3-speed transmission, and hydraulic power. Earthmaster Farm Equipment of Burbank, California was first listed in 1954, but by 1956 the company's name had changed to Turner Manufacturing, which was based in Statesville, North Carolina. I believe that's where a lot of NASCAR teams are based as well. What in the world? Like, where do you get, where traction happen? The Lacrosse Happy Farmer 1224G. The names, too. These rear brakes combined with the sharp turning angles of the front wheels allowed the 1224G to make square turns, providing a turning radius of just 9.5 feet. You'd think that turning radius would be, Rhode Island. The standard tread G and its tricycle companion, the 1224 Model F, were introduced in 1919, 3 years after the LaCrosse Tractor Company from La Crosse, Wisconsin, was created from the merger of Happy Farm Tractor Company and Starrite Engine Company. Happy Farmer tractors were powered by a LaCrosse-built horizontal 2-cylinder valve head with a 6x7-inch bore and stroke. I don't understand what these engine terms mean. I am sorry. The engine turned out 24 belt and 12 draw horsepower, operating at a rated 750 RPM. The Model G originally sold for $1,250. Back then, that was an exorbitant sum of money. Look at this little guy. I like that. And I like the field as well. I like that. The Hart Par, 1836. Charles City, Iowa-based Hart Par enjoyed an illustrious history in farm machinery, being credited as the first firm to build a tractor manufacturing plant and coining the term tractor. Well, that's interesting. The Model 1836 and its big brother, the Model 2850, utilized horizontally operating 2-cylinder valve and head engines. Excuse me. In the 1836's case, the engine was 6 3/4 by 7 version whose cylinders were cast en bloc. The engine, rated at 800 RPM, produced a maximum 32 draw and 43 belt horsepower. Jesus, that's huge. The 6,250-pound tractor featured a Robert Bosch magneto, Schebler carburetor, and Madison Kip lubricator. Get your minds out of the gutter. A 3-speed transmission with standard equipment. Lighting was optional. You can say lighting is optional, but I think lighting is I think lighting is kind of key. All right, we're halfway through the pack. Here we go. The Alice Chalmers G. That's so strange looking. During its production life from 1948 to 55, nearly 30,000 Model Gs were sold, testifying to the tractor's enormous popularity. Alice Chalmers offered the G with a wide variety of implements, more than any other tractor of this type. Built in Alice Chalmers' Gadsden plant in Alabama, the Model G was equipped with a Continental AN62L head engine rated at 1,800 RPM. 62 cubic inch power plant generated a maximum 10.3 belt and 9 drawbar horsepower. In Nebraska tractor tests, the 1,400-pound tractor featured a 68.5-inch wheelbase, 6.5-foot turning radius, that's ungodly small, 4-speed transmission for 1.5 to 7 mile an hour, and a hydraulic lift, but no PTO. A belt pulley was optional. No paid time off for that tractor. I know that's not what that means. Look at it. See, now we're getting into the stuff that's actually a little more recognizable. The Gibson 1. With the conclusion of World War II, returning soldiers were keen on buying their first tractors. The Longmont, Colorado-based Gibson Manufacturing Corporation, which traditionally sold garden tractors, capitalized on burgeoning sales by introducing the Model I, okay, so not one, the Model I and its little brother, the Model H. The Model I generated 36.7 draw and 41 belt horsepower in Nebraska tractor tests equipped with a Hercules QXD5 engine. The 230 cubic inch L-head engine was rated at 1,800 RPM and featured Delco Remy electrical system, Marvel Schebler carburetor, and Pesco hydraulics. The Model 1 offered a 4-speed transmission, 2 to 13.7 mile an hour, and an adjustable rear tread, 49 to 90 inches. I'm sure the farmers watching this are enthralled by this. I'm just fascinated by the looks of these things. Like, and you can tell, like, this series wasn't exactly made because it's not just the miscut, it's just how they threw it on the design, because that is throwing my vertigo off. The Parrot 1225. The Parrot brothers, Henry and Dent, that's a great pair of names, helped pioneer modern tractor development in the early 1900s, starting at least 3 tractor companies, as well as designing models for other manufacturers. The Model 1225 was part of a fleet of tractors produced under the Parrot tractor name, which began operations in Ottawa, Illinois, in 1913, prior to moving to Chicago 2 years later. Actually, the Model 1225 was a redesigned Model 1020. It was powered by a Buda SKF 4-cylinder engine with 4.25 by 5.5-inch bore. Parrot tractors were noted for their innovative design that used such advantages as high-grade anti-friction bearings. And it's got a canopy roof. I mean, that's just cool looking. That doesn't look like any piece of farm machinery. The BF Avery crawler. I mean, I get crawler, and I get the purpose. The history behind the Model A began with Cleveland Tractor Company, which was producing the General tractor. Cleveland, better known for its crawler tractors, sold the General's design in 1942 to BF Avery Company, based in Louisville, Kentucky. BF Avery sold the tractor for 1 year as the General Model A. Then in 1943, BF Avery redesigned the tractor, introducing it as the Model A, which sold for $835, so very, very, very cheap even for then. A wide front version of the Model A, designated the Model V, I'm not sure if that's V or 5, probably V, was introduced in 1946. The A was powered by a 4-cylinder Hercules IX B3 engine at 1,400 RPM. 113 cubic inch engine generated a maximum 19.3 belt and 14 drawbar horsepower. I'm just amazed at the design. Look at it. Look how tiny this looks. I don't know how big it is. There's nothing in here for scale, but it looks tiny. It's the Celltrack F. Cleveland Tractor Company of Cleveland, Ohio was famous for producing outstanding crawler tractors, and the Model F916 was no exception. In Nebraska tractor tests, the Model F was the first tractor to break the 10 horsepower hours per gallon fuel barrier, while generating 16 1/3 belt horsepower. Approximately 3,000 Model Fs were built during its short production run from 1920 to 1922. The tractor was equipped with a Cleveland-built 3.25 by 4.5-inch bore and stroke 4-cylinder L-head engine featuring a Tillotson carburetor and Eisman or Teagle magneto. So we're not sure which. Cleveland boasted the F916, which sold for $595 and could plow 8 acres in a 10-hour day. That's not that bad considering the time. And the final card, look at this little guy. The Sears Handyman RT. For over 20 years, starting in the 1930s, Sears, Roebuck & Company tapped into their farm tractor market by offering a wide variety of models in their catalogs and farm specialty stores. You could actually order a tractor through a Sears catalog? That would be interesting. The Handyman RT was built, like most Sears models, for the firm by the David Bradley Manufacturing Works of Bradley, Illinois. This garden tractor, okay, here we go, was sold in a crate and required its new owner to attach such items as axles, wheels, and implement mounting brackets to the main frame. So, okay, so it's a kit tractor, basically. The handyman officially designed the model 917.5154 in true Sears catalog fashion, used a 2-speed belt-driven transmission that was offered with a wide variety of implements. How cool would that be? Actually, I mean, generally, how cool would that be? To order a thing through a catalog, get it in a crate, and then kind of assemble it yourself. That would be rather interesting. Those are fun. Ton of information, most of which I did not understand, but still, this is fun. You know, up until doing this, I never even knew these were a thing. And now, and because I'm still not feeling well, the gum can only stare at us, we're going to go to our shout-out. This one is going out to Bill's Mafia Cards, a hair under 400 subs at 391. If you're not subbed to him, please link to him down below. Make sure to go sub him up because he is opening a lot of very, very high-end hockey stuff and in the process giving out a bunch of shout-outs himself, so it is only fair it comes back to him and we get him to 400 subs very, very quickly. So link down below. Please make sure to do that if you're not. And if you are, tell a friend, because that is how we get around our old word of mouth. And because I'm still completely disorganized, I was going to clean up over the weekend, but that didn't happen. I have pre-grabbed the hunt pack. We're going magic. We're going Duskmourn. We're going for the horror movie crossovers and for any other thing that's going to be randomly in there. And I love it. I picked up a little thing of the newest magic that you'll see on Monday. The Tarkir Dragonstorm. I didn't go full box because I didn't really dig too much into it. But we're going to have some fun with that on Monday. So look for that. And we start off with our art card. And this is Victor Valgavoth's Seneschal. That's not a word that I'm familiar with. I doubt it's proper English. And it doubted me, so it fell over. All right, here we go. So we've got our list. We're going hunting. Let's go look. Well, we start off right at the rip with a foil Vicious Clown. There we go. I'm going to pull up the pen. We have pulled the Vicious Clown before, and I do not like the said Vicious Clown. Gorgeous looking land, neglected manor. And that is a pretty apt description of that. We have Overlord of the Mistmoors. An Avatar horror in it is our Mythic Rare. So Mythic Rare, I think, deserves a stand. Plus the art is just phenomenal in this set. We got the Ghost Vacuum. Is that the one? Yes, finally. It is a rare. That is essentially, there is your shout out to Ghostbusters. That is what we were looking for. I was a big fan of that one when I saw it. We got Ghost Vacuum. I call today a victory. Plus, there's no gum. Oh, wait, Neglected Manor, we saw that. I was like, why are these over here? Because I moved them. We got the Razorkin Horde Collar, a human clown berserker. None of those words sound good, especially when combined. Midnight Mayhem. We got 3 little gremlin creatures. I like the little gremlin guys. They're kind of cute. We got the, is it Miasma or Miasma Demon? I'm not quite sure, but it is, it's unpleasant to look at. We will just say. We've got Final Vengeance. That's some Final Vengeance right there. Oh, we got the Room. The Meat Locker and the Drowned Diner, basically, it comes in at this, or you can open it immediately. Each one has different little powers, and they get out of hand right quick. The Cryptid Inspector, I don't know what they are doing with that, but it is an elf warrior. Did we need said Cryptid Inspector? We did not. The Cackling Slasher, yeah, that's horrifying. That's horrifying. Vicious Clown on the regular. That's horrifying as well. The Ragged Playmate. Did we need that? We did need that one. That is Raggedy Ann, come from the bowels of Tartarus itself. So you go right there. And we've got Trapped in the Screen. Was that? I think that's almost kind of like a little poltergeist reference. maybe possibly, but I wasn't 100% sure on it. But let me know what you think down below on that one. But either way, we got the Ragged Playmate. More to the point, the Ghost Vacuum that I am very excited about. So that is going to do it for Jank Pack Thursday this week. Thank you guys so much. Over there, thank you so much. Link to Bill's Mafia cards will be down below. Please make sure to sub him up so we can get him to 400 and beyond. Hopefully the rest of your week goes well. Stay tuned tomorrow. Julie Farnham and I will be doing battle once again. 6:30 her channel, 7 o'clock mine. And we're going to have some fun because it's going to be a damage blaster of, was it Optic UFC, I think? I think it was Optic UFC from 2022. It's a blast. Stay tuned for that, and we will see you tomorrow.